Welcome everyone, my name is Ryan and we are back with more Vintage Story. This is episode 26 of the Hardcore Vegetarian Challenge, and we're just checking out the sunrise here. It is November 3rd, as you can see, still our very first year in the game, but it started off slow and it's really accelerated since we finally settled down here with our little multi-layer cake house. But I've been doing a little bit of work off camera, just kind of passing time until the flax grows. So we're going to need a ton of flax for our windmill. That's kind of our next big project. So I've been keeping up with the honey and various other chores. I even decided to do a little building project. So let's check it out. It's not finished. Obviously, you'll see that here shortly, but it did stall out because I don't have enough material. So we're going to have to take a trip into the wilds and get some more ebony wood, because you can see the ebony and the redwood here next to each other. Really like the way that these look side by side. I think someone even commented about this combo, but really nice together. And the checkerboard pattern just kind of came to me. I figured what's the best way to show them off side by side but to have it just a nice little checkerboard. So I am going to enclose the area in fencing too, so our farm will be fully protected at some point here. I'm usually pretty lazy about that, but you know, it's okay to sacrifice a few crops to the bunnies, but we do want to keep our flax protected. And definitely come over here and harvest it. I'm just replanting. It's been brought to my attention, and thank you to the commenters out there, everybody, but specifically that the Millwright mod, I was assuming I could use like the basic vanilla sails on a Millwright axle, and then that would work, but I've been told it's not going to work. So in other words, we're going to need more flax than I thought. But that's okay. You can never have too much of this stuff. Oh, that's for sure. I thought we would have to rely on cloth armor too. But, you know, now that we've got our leather problem figured out, yeah, we can probably just go ahead and make a leather jerkin, start attaching some iron chain to it or something like that. Yeah, that will definitely help us out. But, well, this was a good harvest. Yeah, let's see. I don't think we quite have enough. And of course, we're still waiting on resin too. That's another key ingredient. In addition, I'd love to get some more fat. I think we have enough for one simple windmill, but well, we'll just have to see. Wait and find out. Either way, we are going to hit up the basement too. Let me put these seeds away. Oh, I saw a baby rhinoceros over here too. He was like right there on that hill. So that's another reason I want to fence this place in, not only to protect the garden, but to protect me while I'm in the garden, you know, working and stuff. I don't want to get trampled by a mother rhinoceros trying to protect her baby. But either way, yeah, so that's going to be a priority. I'm almost nervous to just go over there, because if there's a juvenile and a mother, or just an adult, yeah, the adult will definitely get hostile. But all right, we'll come back in. Let's put away our twine. I think we're going to want to keep some of this too and make a lantern. Actually, we're just going to make some candles. But yeah, I did a little bit of blacksmithing in, between episodes. So I've got 2 iron plates now. One of them is going to be for a lantern, but the other is going to be for the windmill setup. I think we needed 1 iron plate for that. So we're getting a bit low. I don't have any more blooms, but I'm pretty sure I still have a whole bunch of hematite somewhere. I think it's all right here. Yeah, so I've still got several stacks of hematite chunks, so we're definitely not short on metal. In other words, I think we can kind of focus on the building and the collection of resources today. We're going to have to get out there, do our rounds, get some more resin, and of course cut down a couple of ebony trees. We got one close by. Yeah, they're all over the place, so I'm not worried except for the big cats. That's right, so we'll always make sure to keep our trusty stack of dirt on us. But let's go below real quick, put this grain away, and check on the tannin that we've got going. All right, here we are below ground. We've got our cellar over here. Let's drop off some of that. I have Bunch of peanuts. We'll work on those later. I've got a couple crocks with some stew in them. Those black currants that we harvested started to go bad, so I wanted to get those cooked up. This is our current stock of mushrooms. Let's grab these because we are going to use them right away, but that's currently all the food we have. It's going to keep us alive, definitely, but we've got more coming, no doubt about it. I just leave that open. So I did come down here and get some more tannin started. So we have strong tannin, and of course we got plenty of weak tannin here. Now that's one thing about this leather mod. Leather from fungi. Is that what it's called? Well, it will bypass the borax/limestone phase. So I believe this is my first time doing it, so we're going to find out right now. But yeah, it just starts with water and a certain amount of mushrooms. I don't know. Let's start to put these in here, see what the tooltip says. Mycelial, can I just put them all in? 16? Yeah, we'll do that. I got some more water over here. No, wait, I didn't notice the days. After 3 days of sealing. Okay, 20 raw mycelial. We'll just use all of these. Let's see, what does this do? Okay, 3 raw. Yeah, I have no idea how much of this raw mycelial pulp we'll need. I guess I could look it up in the handbook, but that would require me doing basic mathematics, so I'm just going to avoid it, and we'll find out in 3 days what that does. But now, like I said, we've got 3 days to kill, so we're going to head out and do a little exploring, a little resource collection. Let's get to the surface, or to our first floor though, because we got to grab a couple of things before we head out. Here's our baskets. Alright, well, I like to have ladders with me, just as an emergency, you know, in case I fall into a pit or something. It's always good to have a stack of dirt no matter what, but ladders can help. How many foods do we have? 4. Let's go ahead and grab a bed too. One of the hay beds, that should probably go in the basket, but either way, who knows? We might need it. All right, we've got water, we got light and food. I think we're ready to set out. Let's go up to the top of the hill. Actually, let's circle around. So there won't be any resin on these because I planted them personally, but we did score this tree. Look at that. Oh, the wild farming mod. It is the best. So that's good. That was, yeah, look at this. This can really just eliminate the need to worry about resin ever again. So right there, that's a huge amount. I mean, just relative to what we found up to this point, you know. That's like twice as much as I found total. Hey, there's Pancake. We're doing all of this for her. This leather, I mean, like I said, would avoid leather and just do cloth armor, but we need a saddle for her, so I guess I'll keep the amber on me, because we might end up with more. But there's a couple of wild trees too, obviously, that I've marked, and we'll check those. It says flowering will ripen. Yeah, just the fact that we got these up to the flowering stage is a big step here in the tropics. Seeing them actually fruit will be a different story, but regardless, that's good news. Let's check up here. Do we see any baby rhinos? Oh man, the checkerboard pattern looks good from a distance, doesn't it? It definitely stands out amongst like the surrounding terrain, but I don't see a baby rhino. I promise I wasn't hallucinating. You know, they can spawn just wherever. I don't think they're like limited to savannah necessarily. So, well, we've got the dirt in our hands. Oh, okay, that's deer. See, I'm going to be super jumpy. But another thing we'll do, I heard some goats. Speaking of goats and chickens, we're going to design a corral for both of those. Maybe a little hen house and a goat corral. Yeah, we'll get those wild ones back home just as soon as we can. Oh boy, yep, I can tell already we are going to be swimming in resin. So these are a couple of the wild trees that I took the leaves off, and then I just decided to score the crap out of them. I had a bronze knife, and I was just kind of trying to break it. So it's going to pay off here. And boom, this is going to be all the resin we ever need right here. There was another one. Yeah, but we're not far from the ebony tree either. Look at this. Yeah, this wild farming, it's great. And I've addressed it previously, but I think in my future challenge runs at least, I'm not going to use this. I love the alchemy mod, even though I almost never use it. I've used it on multiplayer, but it is so great. But the wild farming really kind of trivializes a lot of the resource, scarcity, such as resin and flowers. And I do love the idea of playing in a world where flowers are like super, super rare. And I should have brought my clippers with me. My shears, I forgot to. It's all right. I actually do. Ooh, nice. That's a good amount. I do have plenty of ebony seeds. And by plenty, I mean 3, which is a lot. Those are planted back home, so I think we'll be okay. But what is this? Oh, this is a fruit tree that I took down. Let's see. Well, that's probably not all we're going to need. I found a single mushroom on the way here, too. So let's keep our eye on that hyena right there. And we'll pack the wood away. Very good. Put that away. All right, let's head to our next ebony tree, which is just over here. And we got to make sure to delete that one. Yep. Keep our map up to date and current. Well, decided to take a quick stop here at the goats before we venture over to the next ebony tree. And I've been considering it more and more. Speaking of the goats and the chickens, let's get these two set up though while we talk. So, and for the goats, we definitely need to breed them in this location. They have to have young offspring that we can capture in a basket. I can't capture adults. It just needs to be the first generation too. They don't have to be like fully tamed or anything like that right away. I think I'm going to come out here and extend this a little bit. Don't want them to escape though. But the goats are banging me around here. We can do this right there. Yeah, but the goats and the chickens are different. The chickens I can actually capture in a trap. I won't be able to manually pick them up until they are a bit more tame. We need a couple generations for that, but the chickens can be captured in little basket traps and then just moved when they're wild. So that's probably what I'm going to do. And simply because they're up here very close to where we saw some big cats. So I'm not really comfortable making the run up here multiple times, just to check on these stupid chickens. For one thing, I could probably capture chickens a little bit closer if I really put my mind to it. But for right now, that's good enough as long as we can get them home safe and sound. But that's just kind of my thinking on the whole chicken thing. But like I said, the goats do need to stay here for a couple of days. Actually, it'll probably be a couple of weeks. I don't know the gestation time exactly, but all right, what I'm going to do is put their trough here. And then I do need to get some gates, but they should be safe and sound like that now. Let's put these away. And I think I will actually take the time to get a bit of food for them. So they can eat grain, but the goats will also eat the hay. So let me cut up a little bit of grass and then we'll feed these two. And that'll get the whole process started. I probably will need to come back here and feed them a couple more times. But yeah, this should get things going. Let's see. Boom, 3. I don't think that's going to fill it totally, but yeah, let me get the rest of that filled up because the male only takes 1 serving of food, but the female needs 10 in order to be full enough to breed. So we do need quite a bit. And I will have to see just offhand how much the trough itself holds. There's 3 portions in there, so that was 3 hay bales worth too. So you can see I will definitely have to come back here in a day or two and feed her again, essentially. But it's a process, although it's worth it. Once we get that milk going, oh man, we can start making cheese, and it's going to be good for our health bar too. So it will literally have an impact on our survival. Well, it got rainy real quick out here, but man, I almost feel bad. This ebony tree just kind of stands solitary all by himself out here. Yep, not another tree for miles. Like I said, that's kind of a shame to take that one down. Yeah, let's leave him. Sentimental guy. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. We can leave one ebony tree up. But there's two more here. We do need to be careful. Reduced visibility. Of course, the rain makes it harder to hear, too, a little bit. But this is big cat territory. Okay. But I think if we can get up in these hills, we'll be relatively safe. I say that, I really have no idea. I'm pretty much just saying it to try to reassure myself. But here's the little chickens. Yep. We won't spend time here. I might actually take those gates, but well, we'll come back with some baskets, and I'll catch them in one fell swoop. But we definitely need to have like a chicken coop built and ready to go to house them. Because I've mentioned it before, but when you capture them in those baskets like that, they only live for 24 hours in confinement. You need to release them into a pen or something. So, like I said, we got to be prepared, but it's nerve-wracking making these journeys. I think we only need to get one more ebony tree, though, and we'll probably have enough wood. And we definitely have enough resin now, too, so that's a huge benefit. I think we'll leave the amaranth. Don't really need it. And one of these trees I actually did strip already pretty good. I think it's this one. Oh my god, I can't get up here. Let me up. Yeah, see this one? This is the one I came over here and stripped for sticks. Ended up getting a whole bunch of seeds from it. And now it's time to harvest the rest of the tree. Oh, it's very dark out here, but we're almost home. I decided to just sprint through the night. There it is. The compound is all lit. So we're good to go. Safe and sound, just about. Let's not make that call till we get inside. But yeah, we're good. All right, everything's fine. No worries, didn't see any baby rhinos or anything out there, but I did fill my bags up. I actually broke the axe, and yeah, there's still more tree to chop, but we've got plenty of wood now. I do need to repair that. And let's drop it off. I've been putting my ebony and redwood together. Gosh, I might have to make another redwood trip, but that's not a big deal. Those are easy to find, and once you chop one down, you've got enough wood for quite a while. So we're looking pretty good here. I think the next step is to go ahead, and see what else we can make here. Let me grab my plates. One of those is going to be required. Close up the door. Yeah, we're going to see, I think in the morning, we'll take all this stuff into our inventory. I think for these, I was just waiting on, more resin. So we can start to look at getting this windmill really made too. And of course, we got more flax, and we'll check again in the morning, see if there's any more that's ready to go. So I feel like we're getting real close to making this windmill. Oh, I forgot. Let me take this off. Yep, get this put away. Very good. Didn't have to use my straw bed once, but I might go ahead before we do everything else this evening. I'm going to squeeze out a bit more honey. Let's see, I'm not actually comfortable putting it in this bucket. Let's make an actual barrel for the honey. Yeah. All right, so where's my boards here? Okay, we'll do it like this. Let's whip up a barrel real quick. All right, there we go. Boom, grab it, put the sticks back, and the boards can go in here now. Yeah, I like to have a barrel dedicated to honey. There we go. Yeah, that way there's no possibility of spilling it with the bucket as we're going back and forth. There we go. And, eventually maybe we'll want to make some mead with this stuff. Do I have enough? I don't have enough to get more. Well, that's okay because we do have wax, so it's not actually necessary for me to squeeze. It's hard to see, but there's a basket right there. Let's grab that. And for anybody who's never made candles, it's an interesting mechanic. One of the reasons I made a couple different cooking pots was for this too, but can't forget, very important, we're going to need the wick as well. So yeah, you can get candles from bony soil, panning it, but of course in our Homo sapiens world, there is no bony soil. So the best thing to do is just harvest some beeswax, and let's see, the ratio is interesting. We got to have, like I said, the wick in here. There it is. There it is. This is the ratio up here. So it's 3 across, like that. Boom, boom, boom. And what do we put? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. 7 candles. Now, as I mentioned previous episodes, this is actually going to ruin the cooking pot, which is why I made more. But we'll see that in one moment, just as this finishes up. So let's let the candles cook, and then we'll check out the soiled cooking pot. And there we go. So our cooking pot is now a residue-covered ceramic pot. And, of course, we got 7 candles. As far as I'm aware, there is no way to actually clean these, unless maybe there's a mod that'll let you do it. But like I said, I don't know of any personally, but it's not a bad thing, because if you make glue, for instance, it's going to do the same thing to your cooking pot, so it'll soil it as well. So you might want to have one cooking pot that's soiled like that for making candles and glue as needed. But boom, now that we've got that, we can whip together a lantern. That's what this other plate was for. Where did I? Oh, I think I put both of them in here. Yeah. Now I need some clear quartz, right? Oh gosh, I hope I have some of that. Just enough. Barely enough. Let's see. All right, let's see if I can remember this recipe. It's a very simple one. But, bam, there it is. Oh my gosh, our first true lantern. Oh, that's such a big step. And iron, actually, I took it for granted when I first started playing. Never made an iron lantern. I always went with like bismuth or something fancy like a gold or silver. But I actually like the way that the iron looks. It's got kind of a rusty look to it in some places, but it goes really nice with granite, which is one of my personal favorite building blocks. I know it's gray and kind of boring, but it's also a good basis to build off of, granite is. But we're not using much of it in this playthrough, which is fine. Let's see, it's also good to, stretch yourself and use different materials that you might not. Speaking of which, one day I maybe want to go harvest a bunch of coral and actually see what we can do with this stuff. I know this right here is coral. It's kind of hard to see. Where's my lantern? Yeah, that's a coral cobblestone block. So I think it actually goes well with the granite gravel. I can see doing a whole blacksmith shop out of this stuff, but it would definitely make more sense than the wood, You don't really want wooden walls and stuff in your blacksmith, but it's okay for now. Either way, we're looking good. We're looking a lot better now that we've got light on the subject. So let's see here. I think we'll go to bed. And first thing in the morning, it's time to really put our head together and see if we can get these windmill parts finished. Okay, I wanted to check on our mushroom stuff. It's only been a little bit less than a day, so can't rush it, but just keeping tabs on it. Want to get that leather process, keep up with it. Can't slack off, but let's do it. So we're going to need a saw. I know I'm going to forget something here. I always do when I'm trying to make this stuff. We need the sticks, and I think everything else. No, I'm going to need a hammer and chisel. So I'm going to grab this hammer. The one I've been out here working with is almost broken. We'll grab the good chisel. Yeah, I went ahead and replaced my axe last night. So let's check XSkills real quick, though. I do have a point here in survival and one in metalworking. Very nice. What should we go with here? Metal recovery, don't need it. I almost feel like heavy hits is having 2 points in it is kind of unnecessary. Let's see. The durability's not bad. I'm actually tempted. I think I'm just going to go ahead and save this point. And maybe when we get another level, we'll be able to devote it to something more interesting. In terms of survival, though, I mean, there's a lot of good choices here. We could go with higher life. Huge stomach's actually kind of nice. I really like huge stomach and meat shield combined, but I don't think I'm going to go with that right now. We don't quite have enough food to kind of keep me in pace with that. We'll need a lot more food, but I did go ahead and put one in scout, so we do move a little bit quicker just overall. What are these? Oh, increases maximum thirst. Provides a cooling multiplier. Huh. You know, living in the tropics, I'm sure the heat has been a factor on our thirst, but hasn't felt too bad. It doesn't feel like I have to drink like excessively. I think we'll just go with all-arounder. You can learn one additional specialization. Yeah, that'll be good too, because I definitely want to put specialization in here as like a master smith or whatever. I think we've already specialized, in fact, by choosing blacksmith. But either way, I could spend hours just going through my XSkills tab. I love that mod. But all right, let's see here. Grab this. So let's start with making more of the cloth. I don't know just how much of this we're going to need, but I definitely have a lot of it. Okay, and we got 2 full stacks. There we go. So we're looking at 24 squares plus a bit extra too. I'll save these. It's always good to keep a little behind. All right, so yeah, let's go ahead and make, I guess I need 5 more of these here. So let me pull up the recipe. Very good. We'll start to fill things out. This is where I find out if I picked up everything I needed. Okay, and the hammer, good. Where's the sticks? Oh no, there they are. And we'll use our redwood. Boom. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That should give us a total of 8. We're going to do 2 of these. We'll get into the specifics of the layout later on. I might need more axles, but we'll just hold off on that for now. Those are relatively easy. We can make them as we go. Let's go back and let's actually look up all the recipes regarding resin. That kind of helps. And then if I open the chest again here too, this way I got to get all lined up perfectly. All right, so let's do this rotor here, right? Because I need the 4 rotor first. And I believe for this, yeah, we were just waiting on the iron plate, which I do have now. Got a couple of those. But this is where we're going to need the fat, the actual fat. Because we can't use plant-based fat for this recipe. Maybe we should test it, though. Where's my chisel? Boom. Okay, so we know that works. Let's just test. No, plant-based fat doesn't work. It's not surprising, but I'm hoping this is the only real fat we'll need for this process, because otherwise we're going to be in trouble. All right, so we've got that. Let's clear the space and pull up a new recipe. This one. So the rotor is super critical, but after we get this made, it's like just the sails and then just designing it. You know, once we got the gears, I'm going to need to make a clutch and a brake and several angled gears too, but none of those require fat as far as I know. All right, let's see, the tools always get thrown around. Where is everything here? All right, we're almost ready here. Oh, look at that. The 8-sail windmill rotor, courtesy of the Millwright mod. Anybody who's not played with this Millwright, you're going to be shocked once we get this up and running to see how fast. And I probably won't even go to the full extreme with it because it's not going to be necessary, but I mean, I've seen some on my multiplayer servers where members have just gone crazy with these windmills, and you can get it so fast, it's like it'll lag out and stuff, the game. But either way, you might also notice I did whip together an iron helve hammerhead. Did that in my last blacksmithing. These are real easy. It just takes 2 ingots, but this is definitely going to be at the heart of our automation, the helve hammer, plus a few other things like the cairn and whatnot. But all right, so yeah, I think now the things we need are just the simple, like I need to make several angled gears. It's always good to just have 4 or 5 of these ready to go. But since this is a vanilla piece, we can use the plant-based fat. That's the disqualifying factor there. Oh, I might need more sticks. But yeah, if your like windmill piece is from another mod, like this windmill rotor, it's not going to be cross-compatible with the fat, unfortunately. As far as I'm seeing, that's kind of what's the key factor. But all right, there we go. We got 2 angled gears. Need to get some more sticks. But yeah, we're on the way, people. So the next step is to go ahead and figure out where I want to place it. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of moving of the roof around, but it's definitely going to go right here, just up a little bit. So let me put together a few more things, and then we're going to start to lay out this windmill. All right, so I want to do this with you guys, but a couple disclaimers. I'm not an expert at building windmills, and I have even less experience with the Millwright mod. I've seen it in action. I've built a very small windmill before using it, but I don't know. I might have to completely redesign everything I'm doing here. And I am officially out of resin too, so if we end up needing like more axles or something, we're gonna have to wait until some of our trees produce again. But either way, I'm gonna try and do this. One benefit of this Millwright mod is we don't have to make it super tall. You know, the reinforced axle plus the sails that we're gonna make will be powerful enough, you know, to keep it pretty low. And of course, that's kind of a twofold benefit for some folks at least, because it saves on resources, but it's also a bit less of an eyesore. You don't have to have this massive tower jutting up into the sky, which I know some people don't like, you know, but it's fun to sometimes incorporate your windmill into like the side of a hill, but that's a lot of work too. Either way, this is about as high as we're gonna go. And again, I'm just going off my limited knowledge, but we're going to be using 2 of the large gears. You can see I've already got one placed below me there. And boom. I will probably use the rooftop as like a second story for the blacksmith. So in other words, the ground floor is going to kind of stay like it is. And then when we need to do automation, I'll build some sort of staircase coming up, and we'll have some nice floors or something. We'll redesign the roof, but so let me go around again so I have like a little bit of a walkway. And then we are going to place the other one right here. Boom. Yeah, let me surround this. And really the most critical part, unless I'm mistaken now, is going to just be to have enough clearance for the sails themselves. So now we will use our angled gear, and I think I do need to go out a bit more with it. Oops, oh crap. The hell, I was holding control. Oh well, we'll just build ourselves up more. Actually, I need to go get some more rammed earth. That's going to be temporary stuff too, just a quick, you know, scaffolding. So let me replenish here, grab that, and we'll go back up top and continue. Okay, we're back up here. I've got some more blocks for scaffolding, and I think I've got enough space. So let's see if I do like this, that, and I believe if I place it like that, yeah, that's the back, that's the front. Now we can just connect it. Okay. I brought this regular sails. Oh, you know what I think we need to do? Yeah, get rid of that dirt because it'll be blocked. Yeah, the advanced rotors do not accept the regular sails. So I was told though that I can get the linen back for this. What do I do? Just put it in there with a knife? Okay. Yeah, so we'll definitely reclaim that linen. Not much reason to keep these sail pieces. So Let's call up the recipe again. Now, I don't know which one I actually want here. We'll just go with the first one, the centered one. Let me look at the difference and... Okay. So the wide one, I don't think we need that. Let's just try a set of these. And it goes like that. Boom. Alright. I'm tempted to just knock out 2, 4. Oh man. What am I short? Sticks? Oh. No, we're good. Okay. Is that going to be enough? Let's see. And it should start spinning. Oh yeah. Okay. Okay. So that's working. You see how quick that starts to spin already. And like I said, we're nowhere near. Like the max is 170. If this was a normal vanilla windmill, we would need to get up to 170 on our Z level, and we're well below that currently. Anything above 170 is just, it doesn't help. But let's go down. And you don't really get a full appreciation for the speed here. I mean, that's fast, right? But wait till you see it actually hooked up to a health hammer or something. Oh yeah, it's going to be nuts. But well, I kind of went about this like the reverse from how I normally do it, which is to build like a big old structure first and then put down the windmill insides. I just did that reverse, put down the insides, then we'll have to put a structure around it. But I think I'm going to go a bit more bare bones. We'll see. We'll see. I got a little inspiration from fellow YouTuber Rogue Rat, who used beams to kind of encircle it a bit. Well, I might play around with those, but for now it is definitely functioning, and I'm pretty sure we can add more rotors to it as well. Yep, used up every bit of linen that I had. And let's see here. I mean, I do have more. Let's just go ahead and make this. Now I'm addicted to windmill speed. I need more of it. But, yeah, 8. What would that give us, like 2 more? Well, that's good, but we need probably 8 more. I don't know. We need more, though. So let's check on our garden real quick. Get out of here, goat. Or deer. I definitely need to get a fence, but... whoo boy. Yeah, that's huge. I'm going to have to obviously work on it a bit more and get it hooked up to our stuff, but it's just, you got to split your time. There's so much to do. And I mean, it would be smart to get this garden fully enclosed with fencing, but let's get this down. So here we go. We do have a bit more flax, and unfortunately, we're going to have to wait a while for the next round. It's going to be a bit, but I did replant a whole bunch, so we should be swimming in flax in another few months. And of course, being here in the warm parts of the world, we don't have to worry about like the winter time. It's November already, and we're still going strong. So we have a full year-round growing season. But man, oh man, guys, what an accomplishment it is getting that windmill. I just want to look at it. Let's go back out there and just look at it. Yeah, it's going to be so nice too once it's actually enclosed properly. That thing is a bit of an eyesore. If it wasn't a risk, I'd get up there with a chisel and just, make it clear. Maybe I'll do that once we get a piece of proper glass. But either way, just ignore that for now. Here, I'll cut it out of the frame. There we go. So we're looking at our windmill, people. And like I said, we'll get a full appreciation for it once I actually hook it up. So stay tuned for more episodes, guys, because we got a lot more work to do. And we're going to be knocking out the plates. We're going to be making our iron armor in no time, people. So thank you once again for joining me today. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all on the next one.